that saved a wretch like me, that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I once was lost, but now I'm found.
I remember that very vividly when I was little. Daddy would take some of us kids usually with him when he'd go down and build a fire in the potbelly stove. And it was down front, what we call the amen corner, on the right-hand side, and it had to heat the whole building. I mean, you know, the closer you got, the warmer you were. I don't ever remember the old building having air conditioning. Not at all.
I doubt that it did.
No. And when you went to church in the summertime, you sweated and you stuck to the bench, and sometimes you had varnish on the back of your bench when you left. And no loudspeakers. I recall my dad always got on his knees to pray down front, and most of the men did back then. And also, Daddy was in charge of the benevolence at one time. And he didn't have a box of groceries like they have now. They went to the grocery store, and Mother brought flour and snowdrift or some kind of shortening, butter, oats. She brought rice. She brought things that you could cook that would last. Church fellowship, John Chrisman lived where the Normandy apartments are now. Had a beautiful big home up there behind. It looked almost like a castle. And they had this huge big yard. And every time we had a dinner on the ground, we called it, they put out the tables, and everybody brought their food, and we ate outside. We had singings after church, a lot of them on Sunday night, because they came to our house a lot, and we would make homemade ice cream and have singings, and we had parties at parks and places like that. And my daddy taught the young adults, the young singles, the older singles, and he had lots of parties for them, and I got to go to all of them, and it was fun. Of course, we had a couple or two we had to watch all the time. Some of them got behind the trees. We wore dresses. We never wore pants. That just wasn't heard of then. I think I had one pair of blue jeans when I was a teenager, but I only got to wear them on Saturday or to the lake or something like that. People used to wear pants then. Every Christmas we got a mesh bag, kind of like what oranges come in, but they were shaped like a Christmas stocking. And we got an orange and an apple and a banana and a few nuts and some hard candy. And usually a candy cane was in there. And they gave that to every child out for Christmas. And it was much fun standing in line waiting for your sack. I mean, you know, it's just so different from what you do today.
I see.
What happened to the old building?
It was sold, when it built this present building, it was sold to the Lions Club. And then they later tore the building down and built the present building. They bought the 300 feet from Mrs. Davis. That's her location now. And they were supposed to save money up for the building. But my brother said that every time a missionary comes through, they always drew money out of their fund to help the missionary. And so it never did accumulate much. And so finally, I think P.E. Wilbanks got exasperated that one of the children was misbehaving, and it was raining outside, and he had no place to take the child. And he finally said, let's either build a new building or sell the property. What's the new building? Why, they at that time could issue church bonds. It was legal at that time. And the contributions, between the contribution and church bond and selling the property, and they had an extra house on Oakland Terrace also that they sold, I think, for about $8,500. And up the new building financed and built. And some of the material was donated, and some of it was bought at a reduced price. But the new building and kitchen was, some folks objected to using church funds for a kitchen, but and PE worked for House Hassan Hardware at that time to sell kitchen cabinets and such. So he got them to donate that, and the appliances were donated, and so it didn't cost anything for the little kitchen that we have now. And the original building, though, had some things that you wish were different. They had steam pipes running up and down the outside walls of the building, but if the heat was turned on, you better not sit too close to the steam pipe. It's kind of hard to concentrate on the service, with the perspiration dripping off the end of your nose and such.
I see was blind, but now I see.
Yeah, I was 6 when the church was built, and we went to north side of the church, and had to go all the way over there. There was no church out here at all, Church of Christ, you know. And they had a tent meeting in the Lions Club property, and to see the interest that would be here. And my sister was one of the 8 that was baptized, my oldest sister. I remember Mrs. Wrinkle taught one of my classes, and I liked her a lot. And we used to have a lot of parties, and we'd go down to her house the day before the party and clean up for her and make cookies. She made some kind of funny looking cookies, and we ate them. I don't know what they were, but she was so good to us, and we loved her. My favorite preacher was Brother Paul Buchanan. He was great, and he he was what we called a walking Bible, and he learned he worked at a foundry all week, and then preached on Sundays, and he learned his lessons riding the streetcar to work and back, and that's how he learns. But he could quote that Bible, and he had a little Old Testament, and he'd back that across the sand to make an emphasis. He really was good, I thought. My sister Dimple was telling this. They had a ice cream supper one night, and I think they were up at Alton and Old Campbell's, but they they kept turning this freezer, but it wouldn't freeze, and they kept turning, and they turned it right the whole party, you know. Finally, somebody said, well, let's open up and see what's in there. And they opened it up and there wasn't a thing in it. And that just tickled everybody to death. It was in there wasn't a thing in that. They'd been turning it all around. But that's the way it goes sometimes.
Tell me one last thing. What do you think? What's the best part of Red Bank?
I think the people are friendly and they hug you when you come on Sunday. Well, at least on the road that I don't move around a lot now, but on the road that I sit on, I mean, on Sunday morning they'll be lined up by my seat to come out and give me a hug and speak to me, and I think that's great. Now, I remember that a lot because you can't have too many friends. But I love Red Bank. Always have.